Hey, it is your girl, the one, the only Spicy, and I'm here today with a general love reading, a live general love reading. I hope everyone is well. Your girl is here. I am still here. I am here. But yeah, your girl definitely been having a lot of interesting life things going on, but I'm definitely glad that I didn't really allow anything else going on in my day to stop me from coming here and doing this live, because I actually like doing these lives. Like, I actually really do. It's a lot always going on. And I'm a human. Sometimes I be shifting. Well, a lot of the times I be shifting out of my desired vibrational energy. But I really feel like it's just because I'm trying to clear out things, in my life right now that just kind of don't match the person that I am becoming. And yeah, I'm just basically trying to do some clearing work, essentially getting all that shit out of my life so I can move forward and just be. But yeah, y'all, shouts out to a year. I said shouts out. Shout out to a year of doing live readings. I don't even really remember when my first one was, because my old phone, like, it did never really let me, like, it didn't never really let me, like, save a lot of stuff because it was already, like, pretty full. But I want to say that I started around, I feel like the end of September. And so we're well into October now. I just kind of know off the rip I've been doing this for a year. So shout outs to a year of general love readings on IG. Shout outs to a year. Like, make sure you check me out on YouTube, because that's where the majority of my content is posted, especially from these lives. So if you ever forget them, you don't feel like watching them on Instagram, you want to do some other things. I was about to be like, you want to do some other shit. Like, you might be a multitasker like myself. You just kind of want to listen to it in the back. Like, you could definitely do that. So check me out on YouTube. That's where all of my content is posted. That's where it's all posted. And it's actually weekly content. Like, weekly contents. Weekly contents. Consistent. So yeah, I hope everyone is well. Yeah, so today basically we're just going to be asking about your next major relationship, but more so like, how are you gonna recognize this person? So probably getting some like personality traits, some things, just random stuff about this person, this ethereal, mysterious person, like. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about your next major relationship, like your next major relationship. I'm not talking about no situationship. I'm not talking about no, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say relationship, and this is for the people that want that. So if like, I'm not really interested in a relationship, then it's up to you. You know what I'm trying to say? But my readings are timeless. They are timeless. So if at any point that you feel like, you know what, let me go back and reference this because you met someone and it syncs up, then good for you. I achieved my goal. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. I always start with a goddess deck just to get like a general update and check in and see what's kind of going on with you. Y'all, when I tell you I haven't got a deck in a while, the last two decks I got was actually purchased for me, but as far as me purchasing a deck, it's been a while. So I got the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. This deck kind of focuses, it focuses on your shadow side energies. And I feel like I typically use the goddess deck because I want to see like, what's going on with y'all. But I just felt like I would be able to get a full reading by also looking at like the things that might be like actually bothering y'all, and then just kind of get some advice cards on how to deal with that. So we just trying to expand little by little. I just do what spirit tells me to do, and life is simple that way. So let's go ahead and get it popping. Like I said, I hope everybody is well. let's go ahead and get it popping. I don't know if I'm gonna take the I don't know if I'm gonna take the reversals or not, but I guess I'll just kind of let things go as they are. You know what I'm trying to say? Let things go as they are. Along with the guidance deck, I'm also going to use some tarot cards, and not just read the oracle cards. I'm going to use the tarot as well. I have so many decks that I actually love to use for tarot, so it's like, now I don't know which one to pick. Like, I love them all, but I'm kind of getting drawn to using the Muse Tarot deck alongside with these oracle cards, and then we'll get into the Dark Mirror deck, and then we'll also get some surrender cards. But yeah, so let me go ahead and get some tarot before I start running my mouth. If you talk to me on a consistent basis, like, you know your girl can talk. Like, I can talk. So let me get stuff together before I start running my mouth. You feel me? All right, and we have, let me see the emotion. Okay, so for the most part, what I see kind of going on with you right now is it seems like you all are really exhibiting, it's like you're exhibiting some like really true self-love. Hey, it's like you're in a period of exhibiting like true self-love, and it's like not just a egotistical or egoic type of self-love where you're really focused on the superficial or superficialities about yourself. I feel like where you are right now is like you're forgiving yourself, more so in a spiritual more so in the spiritual sense where it's like you're looking back at, you know, maybe some shortcomings. You're looking back at maybe times in which you didn't really nurture yourself as much as you should have. And you're starting to forgive yourself, and you're realizing that in order to receive the type of emotion that you might be looking for, or the type of sensitivity, or the type of just love, attention, validation, like you're realizing that those are things you have to give to yourself. But there was a barrier there that was potentially stopping you from being able to do so. And I really feel like it just was like it was just divine. I don't feel like it's like, I don't feel like your healing is anything that essentially you prolonged or anything. For some reason, I'm kind of getting the vibe that like that it was just cycles that you was going through. Hey, I kind of get that it was just cycles that you was going through, and now essentially that cycle has wrapped up. The cycle as far as with the struggle, the not loving yourself, like all of those things have wrapped up, and now you're more so focused on forgiveness of yourself, and then also giving yourself that love that you need. So it's like you're comforting yourself. So if there was any card in the deck that I could think of, I'm kind of associating it more so with like the Queen of Cups energy. So you're really trying to embody like true empathy, understanding, unconditional love, but it's of yourself. It's not really of anybody else right now. So I really do see that you kind of just have to roll with the ebb and flows of life. You know what I'm trying to say? Everything isn't going to be so perfect and dreamlike and just so imaginative. Like oftentimes, like life is hard, life is tough, it's rough, it's practical, it's realistic, it's just what you see. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like you definitely could have been really woo to the point that, you know, things were just kind of happening in your life and you felt like you couldn't really control them. So I'm also kind of getting like a Tower in reverse card as well, where it's like you're dealing with a lot of internal upheaval. But like I said, I feel like it's something that naturally just had to happen that way. It's like you were divinely guided. My friend would say divine pressure. So it's like you were divinely guided, you know, essentially through this pressure. It was something that has to happen for you to get to the point where you are now. And like I said, even with the wheel, this talks a lot about just like I said, cycles, like kind of what goes up must come down. Like things might be shitty for a while, but understand that it's not always going to be like that. The wheel is kind of like in your season card. You know, I'm trying to say, like, there's a season for everything. It's a season for you to grind, a season for you to hustle. It's a season where you probably will experience a lot of disappointment and loss, but there's also going to be a season to where you're going to be happy and fulfilled and satisfied and whatnot. So that's kind of what's I'm kind of getting here, is what's kind of going on with you right now, is you're really having an Ace of Cups moment, but it's for yourself. It's not necessarily for anyone else. So the Queen of Cups, she's very nurturing and motherly to other people, but I feel like you're trying to embody that energy for yourself. So yeah, if anything, I think you are becoming a lot more realistic. Definitely realistic. I had some cards that turned up, but they just turned up. Now that I'm looking at the imagery on these cards, I'm like, damn, like I should use this deck more often. I love it. But for the most part right now, you guys are just kind of like going with the flow of things. I feel like I said, you forgiving yourself for any shortcomings. You're really developing a strong self-love for yourself. And so I feel like all that's left for you to do is to just flow with things. And I'm kind of getting more of the will energy too, where it's kind of like, it seems like this is your season. You know, I'm trying to say you went through a lot of heartaches, a lot of struggles in the past. I can definitely see, but it seems like now it's your season. Now it's really time for you to let things flow and to love yourself. I'm getting more cards that have to do with emotions, especially with the page of emotions and whatnot. So this is kind of like letting me know, especially here with like the octopus, what's it called? It's you know what I'm talking about, like the octopus tentacles and stuff like that. Like this is kind of letting me know that like you're kind of reining in all of your energy, and you're bringing it back into yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? So you definitely could have been, maybe for some reason I'm kind of getting that somebody was upset because they thought that a venture was going to go somewhere in the past and maybe it didn't. But I feel like you're regaining more so like faith and hope within the situation. I don't know. For some reason, I'm kind of getting like an idea or something didn't really get off the ground and you feel some type of way about it. But I feel like now you're more so trying to restore, you know, that faith in yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like there was a lot of blockages just even within your ethereal body. So when I say that, it's like, I'm not going to say your physical body from what you can see, but I don't know, ethereal, I guess. There's another word that's on my mind, but it doesn't come to mind. But like just blockages within your energies or within your chakras and whatnot. But I really do see that the more that you pull back and just allow things to flow and you just nurture yourself, I'm really getting that that's helping you to restore more faith into you know, things that maybe fell off or things that didn't really take off. You know what I'm trying to say? You're trying to restore yourself. You feel me? You restore yourself, restore your faith, your optimism, and also your wishful thinking. So I feel like a lot of you all could have definitely been pessimistic at a certain point in time. Yeah, definitely pessimistic. Yeah, it's showing that a lot of you all were very much, you try to have control over your entire situation. And when it comes to spiritual matters, it's like you have your free will. That's within your control. But when it comes to the other shit that's going on, and especially when it comes to dealing with other people, it's like you really can't control anything. So I feel like a lot of you all just kind of gave up control. Maybe you were trying to force things with other people, and maybe you had a vision or a goal in mind, a way that you saw you felt like things should have went a certain way. You know, I'm trying to say things should have played out a certain way, and maybe you were trying to control things to do so. But I really feel like a lot of you all like a lot of you all realize that at a certain point in time it's not really much that you can control. Like I see that a lot of you all just kind of dropped your defenses. Whatever it was that you was fighting against, you just kind of dropped your defenses. Whatever it was that you was trying to control, you kind of realized that like this is a cycle. Maybe you were trying to rush through the cycle of struggle, disappointment. Like you was trying to just rush and speed through it. But I feel like the universe was telling you by the fact that things were still, you know, persisting in an undesirable way, in an undesirable way. I feel as though Spirit just kind of, it kept you there. It kept you there for a reason. It kept you in that hardship for a reason. Like, God literally kept you in that place, even though it was so much pressure, in order to, in a way, like, in a sense, like, break you down. In order to break you down so that you had no other option but to put that energy back into yourself. You literally had no other option but to nurture yourself, but to love yourself, but to forgive yourself. So it was kind of like you got stripped of a lot of things. Like, you thought things would go a certain way, and you kind of really got stripped of that ego and of that control that you had. So that's where a lot of you are right now. You kind of had to, you had to drop it. It was like, if you didn't want to drop the ego, then Spirit was going to do it for you. The universe was going to work it out for you, because, hey, please forgive me. Forgive me. Like, since I have my cards out, after this, I'm going to do your reading. Please forgive me. Like, forgive me. A lot has been going on. But for the most part, yeah, I feel like Spirit literally forced you to go through whatever it is that you went through, so that you could, like I said, stop fighting, drop your defenses, understand that you couldn't really control. Fuck. Damn it, y'all. Your girl got to get a new ring light. But for the most part, I feel like Spirit really did all that. So there was really no other option but for you to, but for you to let it flow, let it go. Like, it's a lot of people that's dealing with stress right now, and it's really not much that you could do but to allow things to flow in the direction that they need to, All right, we're back. We are back. All right. So, it's not my ring light, it's the adapter. That adapter is hot as fuck, and I gotta get another one. It's hot as fuck. All right, so let's see what else is going on with y'all at this time. Let's see what else is going on with y'all at this time. Okay, so a lot of y'all still kind of trying to rush into the future. I see you got through the hardships, but it's like, as far as with your future, it's like you're literally trying to rush, and you're trying to figure out, like, I don't know, I feel like it's some anxiety here too, as far as like what's gonna happen in your future. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, whatever you're looking forward to, you're just kind of like, it's a lot of anxiety, like what's gonna go on. And basically, if you continue to stay within that anxiety, it's gonna literally shift you out of your high priestess energy, which is, the high priestess to me knows everything and knows nothing at the same time. Like, that's my favorite thing, is because it's like, you can know just enough to help you through life, but there's still more to learn to help you, evolve better, and to help you get through challenges and stuff like that. So it's always something to learn, but the wisdom and the knowledge that you have now is also applicable, because that's something that you've learned through experience, right? So basically, I'm just kind of getting that, like, if you try to focus too much anxiety into your future, into how you think things are, trying to think into the future, trying to do all this extra stuff, it's going to like shift you out of that high priestess energy, which allows you to not know what's going on in the future, but still utilize your intuition to help you get through the day to day, as we're moving into the future. So it's like, it's not so much as trying to predict the future as much as it's continuing to develop your intuition, because get into the energy of not knowing and being fine with not knowing, so that as you start to make decisions and things move forward, you're gonna literally be guided by your intuition. And that's the whole point, is for you to listen to yourself. You feel me? So it's a lot of anxiety that's kind of going on there as well. All I can say is, don't shift yourself out of it. Don't try to think too much about, like I said, what you can't control, or you can't think about the possibility of things. That's not what I'm trying to tell you to do, to not be hopeful, because clearly you're going to continue to be hopeful, especially with the star card, with wishful thinking. You are going to look forward into the future with some type of, optimism. But all I'm saying is, don't be too, focused about the way how things are going to play out, and just allow your intuition to do the work for you as you continue to live life not knowing. You feel what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with your relationships. A lot of it has to do with your stability at home. So this is a love reading, so you could definitely be thinking about partnership with somebody, just having a family, creating something that inspires you. But it's definitely very much so based on like family and home and stuff like that. Yes, it's commitment here with the Hierophant and in the reverse, and whatnot. So a lot of you all might definitely be worried about just how you're going about even relationships, how you're going about that, because like it's love, family, marriage is heavy right here. So a lot of you all might definitely have some anxieties about like choosing the right partner, or about committing to someone or something, or just about establishing something, being able to establish something of stability. Like, to me, when it comes to my foundation, when it comes to my home and all those things, I like predictability. I like to know that this thing is going to be this thing, especially if I spent time to build it up in a certain way to my liking. Now, everything else can be spontaneous. That's completely fine. But when it comes to my living situation, it's like that John got to be by the book and in order. So I feel like a lot of you all could definitely be experiencing some type of anxiety about maybe the way that you're going about your relationships. Maybe you think that you found someone, like a soulmate or someone that you are interested in. Now you're looking into the future, but maybe commitment isn't like a thing that's being clarified right now to you. So maybe you don't know the status of a relationship, is kind of what I'm getting to the more that I read into it. But if anything, I feel like you're just concerned with doing things the right way. And so there could be a lot of anxiety about that, about your future. Like, am I going to go about my future the right way? It's a lot of anxiety here. But like I said, don't shift yourself out of that high priestess energy. Make sure that you're not really trying to think too much, like, just in a mental sense. Like, just not try to think too much, but just feel by utilizing your intuition. Because I can't predict future events. Like, it's some stuff that's like, you could look at the cards and be like, well, if you continue to stay in this energy, this is what's going to happen. If you don't take action, this is what's going to happen. If you do take action, this is what's going to happen. But it's not more so like I can sit there and predict, because the energy changes all the time. It literally changes all the time. So let's see what else is going on with y'all. Okay. Let's see what else is going on with y'all. I mean, even though you are experiencing some anxiety about your future, it's very much showing me that because you've taken the time to love yourself, to forgive yourself, to allow things to flow, it's like, in a sense, you've upgraded yourself. Like, I don't know what else to say. You just upgraded yourself. In a sense, you've saved yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Especially with the salvation card here too. It's like, you might have been in a period of non-action, is kind of what I'm getting. But I didn't get really, let me get a before vibe tarot card, because I'm just like before vibe. Yeah. So this definitely has to do with money as well, and just basically your ability to acquire things and how it affects your self-esteem. And it doesn't have to just, because I got some hints of love and stuff in here as well. But I feel like a lot of you all definitely had a struggle when it comes to money, especially opportunities that you thought were blocked, or missed opportunities. I feel like you all could have definitely been in a victim mindset as well, as to like, what's going on with me, and why is it that things aren't working out for me? Yeah, like, a lot of you all were definitely missing opportunities, or you didn't, I don't know if it's necessarily like you missed opportunities, or you didn't really have what you needed to step forward into these opportunities in a confident way. So it definitely could have been your self-esteem or your confidence that could have held you back. But since we also know that this was divine pressure, maybe it was set up that way. So I don't know, there was like an egotistical thing kind of going on, where you might have wanted to expand, but Spirit was like, the universe, even God was like, you know what, this is not the right time. You know what I'm trying to say? There's something else that you need to focus on, which is of being stripped of all of these expectations, all of this control, the way in which you thought things should have went, and it really got stripped down and stripped back. So like, there's literally no option for you but to flow with how life is going. And I feel like because you did that, it puts you more so in an empowered position to really take the action and to have the energy, the inspiration, and the passion to do what you needed to do. Because here we have the Empress card. I love this Empress card. Just look at it. It's like the universe is coming out of her. What's this right here? What chakra is this? Well, it could either be your it could not sacral. It could either be your solar plexus or it could be your heart chakra. But I'm kind of feeling like it's kind of like solar plexus, kind of. I don't know. It could be heart. It could be heart. But now you're able to move forward and whatnot. And I don't know, a lot of you all did some real healing work, because when I see the salvation card, it just makes me think about like you did a job, like you got the job done, like it was a job well done, because now you feel so much more empowered. And then with the Knight of, the thing about that nobody can say about the Knight of Wands is like, even though the Knight of Wands might be impulsive, it's like the Knight of Wands is ready to go. So you're kind of embodying, even if you're divine feminine, you're in your divine feminine energy heavy, but you're really starting to embody those divine masculine vibes. And you know, the divine masculine is all about going out and getting it. And so even though you can't be the Empress and the Emperor at the same time, because there's literally no room. It's no room. And that's why the universe literally had to strip you down, because you were trying to step into an energy that was not for you, which is the Emperor. And the Emperor is one of control. It's not a bad energy. It's just, if you're a divine feminine, this is an energy that if you stay in this energy for too long, you could literally burn yourself out trying to control stuff. Like, this is not for you. I mean, it's for you, for your counterpart, but it's not for you. You feel what I'm trying to say? But a lot of you all are definitely getting into, you're embodying some of those divine masculine traits, which is as far as it's like, okay, taking whatever ideas that you've been nurturing, whatever ideas that didn't really get off the ground and you were upset about, and it's about now taking that energy and doing something with it. So a lot of you all are moving forward. My only caution is, this is the Knight of this is the Knight of Wands, and sometimes the Knight of Wands can definitely make impulsive decisions. But I'll get one more card and just see what the advice is on that, or just to get some more clarity. I mean, at least it's forward movement. I can say that, because so it can cause you to make impulsive decisions, but I feel like it's going to be best for you to remain authentic to yourself. Like, that's the advice for you as you're moving forward. So before you decide to make impulsive decisions without really thinking things through, make sure you do that. So like, whatever you're doing, at least you know you're being true and authentic to yourself. You feel me? Yeah. So a lot of this has to do with your transformation. So as you continue to move forward and transform yourself, allow those parts of you to shed, the parts that no longer apply to you, and whatnot, and just move forward in an authentic way. You feel me? Move forward authentically. So let's go ahead and use the Dark Mirror cards. Damn, your girl done, I don't know, I kind of like the vibe of like kind of just talking about you. I was going to talk about like how to recognize your partner and stuff. I was really going to talk about that, but it's like, I really like the vibe of just talking about you, because now we're about to get into some shadow side energies that you can definitely, that you definitely should pay attention to and look at. This also is the Dark Mirror Oracle. It's the Dark Mirror Oracle. So a lot of these messages are kind of based off of, sorry you guys, got too many cards. I fell out. I'm actually probably just going to keep that one. All right, so a lot of you all, you're definitely dealing with some very heavy. I didn't know this deck was that heavy. Like, of course it would be, because it's talking about your shadow side, but it's definitely putting me on my ass right now, because I didn't know this deck was that heavy like that. But I really feel as though a lot of you all had to spend some alone time. It was for you to spend alone time through all the BS. It literally was for you to be able to grow through this and to work on this by yourself. So if you've been going through some like intense healing and it's just like you just feel like I've just been dealing with this by myself, you know, honestly, I wouldn't get too mad at the universe, because I feel like the fact that you had to deal with it by yourself is something that it basically helps to make you stronger in a sense. So that's why I feel like you had to spend that alone time to really get real with yourself, and to look at your ego. And you know, that's funny because I remember like when I would go to the Y to work out, like the one instructor, she would always be like, leave your ego at the door. Like if it's a weight you can't lift, if it's a resistance band you can't use, like your arms are weak, your legs are tired, I don't know, like leave your ego at the door. You know what I'm trying to say? It's really not all about smoke and mirrors. And you can do that when it comes to other people, because people scam and they be frauding. They be doing all type of shit to make people think they're one way when they're really not. But you can't play these games with yourself. Like, you can't just have these smoke and mirrors. And I mean, a lot of people do it. We call them narcissists because they think they something that they're not. Heavy. But for the most part, I feel like you really had to get real with yourself. Like, you had to spend some time and realize that you might have been playing a role that was not beneficial for you. You might have been taking on a lot of responsibilities that are not beneficial for you just to keep up in a certain appearance, like that you're this way. But after a certain point in time, it gets really tiring. It really gets tiring. So that's also another point of contention that you could, I guess, that you can look at, is like being authentic with yourself, which is kind of what I mentioned over here. Now that you are, you know, still transforming, now that you have wrapped up a cycle, now that, you know, things are essentially on the up and up for you, things are going to look better for you. It's like, now you have to be authentic and you have to drop the smoke and mirrors when it comes to yourself. Like, you have to be real with yourself. It's really nothing else that, that can be done. Like, it's really nothing else that can be done. And I also feel like, let me get some clarification on this card before I go into it, because I'm just like, is somebody taking from you? Are you like, what's going on? Are you taking from yourself? I don't know what's going on. All right, so yeah, this is basically just a continuation of what I said as far as with your ego. It seems like your ego just wasn't really serving you. It seems like, if anything, it was closing you up instead of opening you up to the infinite possibilities, and your ego was making you inflexible. It was just kind of making you stubborn in a sense, like where you might have thought that you had it all right, but spirit always come in and let you know that you don't have it all right. Like, it always does that. It's like, oh, you think that this is how this is supposed to go? Well, no, it's not. So a lot of you all definitely could have definitely could have experienced that heavy. And it seems as though your ego was really draining you as opposed to helping. Like, it wasn't helping. So now I feel like that's why you're trying to, your ego wasn't really getting you anywhere. It's kind of what I'm getting. It was really blocking and delaying a lot of things. And I feel like now that you're more so in the energy of, you know, Queen of Cups towards yourself, just kind of going inwards, trying to really nurture, care for yourself, and especially because it's like you're coming into your season now, it was definitely important for you to drop the ego, because it wasn't really getting you anywhere at all. Like, it wasn't really getting you anywhere. Yeah, I kind of got a know-it-all vibe. But yeah, your ego wasn't really getting you anywhere, but I definitely like the fact that a lot of you all are just trying to be more real with yourself, because that's coming up here again, where spirit is just kind of like, okay, it's time to cut some things off. It's time to let some things go. Now we have to truly be real with ourselves. So this is definitely a shadow aspect of yourself that you have had, and it's like now you're addressing in order to get through it. It's like your ego is really taken from you, and it's causing you to see yourself in a way that isn't necessarily true. Whether it be grandiose or whether it just be the complete opposite, which is just not enough. Like, it's like your mind was really perceiving yourself to be a certain way, and it just wasn't true. It wasn't true. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you all definitely could have been very obsessed with setting people straight. Setting people straight. It's like you could definitely be a stubborn person as well. It's just like you have a certain way of going about things. You have a certain way of doing things. And if nobody fits within that realm of what you got going on, then it's like you're ready to just be like, all right, I'm done with you. Like, I'm going to move away from this because it's too much strife and it's too much struggle. Not to say that this isn't an energy that you should embody with the Queen of Swords and then with the Six of Swords. Not to say that it's an energy that you shouldn't embody, but I feel like you all might have been a little too obsessed with running or with not really being committed to something, or I don't know what it is. It's just like a running energy where it's like, you know, in the twin flame dynamic where you're either a runner or a chaser. I feel like at a certain point in time, you just became a runner. You was just kind of like, if you was kind of probably even obsessed with the fact that things probably just were not going to work out for you. Like I said, having the Queen of Swords and the Six of Swords energy isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like the Queen of Swords is inviting, and if something don't sound right, then it's like she's not really for the BS. Like, she's gonna leave, and it's very evident here with the Six of Swords. Like, if something's gonna be really choppy, like, I can use my sword if I want to, since she's the only queen with a weapon. It's like I could use it if I want to, and I could still dip, or I could just dip. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like a lot of y'all might have definitely been obsessed with like sticking it to the man. You're very obsessed with like telling people how you feel and always being like, well, this is how I feel. You know what I'm trying to say? You could have definitely been very obsessed with that. But I feel like it's more so just, I feel like you probably had issues with not really being able to express yourself and people listen. So you kind of went to the other end of the spectrum, and just was more so obsessed with, you know, giving people a piece of your mind and then leaving them and whatnot. But yeah, that's just something else that I see coming up within your shadow side. So the one another shadow side aspect is the fact that like your environment could actually be very chaotic. Like, things could not be organized in your environment. Things could definitely be disorderly. Yeah, I'm kind of getting like the disorderly vibe. Yeah, I'm getting the disorderly vibe. But yeah, so that's one thing, is like your environment where you are could literally actually really be toxic, or just it's just not for you. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's just one shadow thing I see. Like, as you're going through this healing, I feel like you had to do it in like some unsuitable living conditions. Just unsuitable. But yeah, another shadow side aspect that I saw, just wrapping it up, is the fact that like you're not being real with yourself. You weren't being true and authentic with yourself. Especially through the realms of like trying to control things and with your ego. Then here we come over here, which this pile is solely ego, where it's kind of like opportunities were blocked, things were missed. But the ending energy, and then we have the Hermit on the bottom. Like, the ending energy is, I literally was gonna say, is to get real with yourself, because we have the Ace of Voices, and that's the Ace of Swords. So just to be real with yourself, with how you think, with how you perceive the world, and just even, I don't know, just even in like how you participate. Like, I don't know what else to say, because here I see that you're more accustomed to just running, to just being like, oh, if something doesn't work out, well, I'm just gonna leave it where it is. You know what I'm trying to say? Or you could just even be like obsessed with giving people a piece of your mind. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, oh my God, it's like it's crazy, because it's literally like I'm channeling stuff, but I just don't feel myself like talking. It's just like kind of flowing, like but for the most part, you're obsessed with giving people a piece of your mind, and it's like, and then leaving. It's like I feel like I get more so like you're the running type of person. It's like when some shit don't go down right, it's like I'm ready to dip. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm ready to dip today. I'm ready to leave today. But it seems like I said, a lot of you all, oh yeah, that's another shadow aspect, is just being obsessed with leaving, with telling people off, and with different things like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this card down, these cards down, and I'm gonna get the surrender deck, just so we can start to look at some ways that we can heal those things as we move forward, because you guys are actually doing a really good job. Like, you're doing a really good job, because you're like consciously pouring into yourself, like consciously trying to fill up your cup by doing the work that you need to do. And not to say that it wasn't hard, not to say that, you know, there actually weren't external things keeping you down. From what I see, it just wasn't your time. Like, you had to continue dealing with it. It was something that needed to be dealt with for your soul's growth. So with whatever that thing is that has happened to you, and I can definitely say I'm sorry, because I know how tough like life can be. But with whatever that was going on with you, understand that there's always a spiritual meaning behind it. The spiritual, whatever's happening is happening. It is what it is. Like, but there's going to be a spiritual meaning behind it. Something that some key that is going to help you unlock the door to how you're going to deal with this situation. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's nice to have a perfect balance of, you know, participating in the 3D physical world, but then also being spiritual too, because like I said, it gives everything that you're going through meaning. You feel me? So let's move on and let's see. Let's move on and let us see some different ways that we can try to clear up, you know, the other things that's going on. How can we clear it up? So the surrender cards are definitely saying that a lot of you all are dealing with intimacy. A lot of you all are still struggling with control issues, which is something that I've highlighted this entire reading. Control is something that you all need to surrender. And last but not least, surrender to effortlessness. So that kind of ties into what I was saying about, like, literally just doing too much to look into your future instead of just allowing things to flow. This is kind of what I'm getting here. Is to just live, to let things go as they need to. You know what I'm trying to say? Embody some of that, like, Piscean energy, where it's just kind of like they just flow. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if you don't have a Pisces friend, get one. Get one. I didn't say Cancer. I didn't say Scorpio. Because you got to work for that. Like, you got to work for that. Not to say that you don't have to work for, you know, your Pisces friendship. But I know for a fact that when you are feeling stuck, like when your energy is stuck, then it's best to have that Piscean energy around, because it just kind of like unblock things and allows things to go where it need to go. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's all I'm saying. You got to work for Cancers. You got to work for Scorpios. Like, Pisces will at least, you know, take the time to be like, you know what, you look like you need some healing, and I'm gonna help you with that. You know, and that's that. Like, it's effortless. Like, not to say that you shouldn't put effort into it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Get you a Pisces friend. Get you a Pisces friend. Get you a Pisces friend. So the surrender cards are also saying that it's important for you to surrender to the beauty of the natural world. You know, through all your projects, through whatever it is that you have going on, just make sure that you're taking breaks. Make sure that you're going outside, getting some air, getting some vitamin D from natural sunlight, and whatnot. So a lot of you all, from what I see, are just really transforming out of the ego, transforming out of fears, transforming out of conditional, like just placing conditions on yourself, and just embodying more so of an unconditional energy and vibe. I was going to talk about this mysterious partner, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because I really kind of like where I'm going with this today. Just like focused on you. It's just like an extended general reading. Very much so focused on you. But I want to kind of take it back to the surrendering to your fear of intimacy. So definitely I'm seeing with these cards that there's something that you're trying to control, and it's definitely evident here. I mean, like, spirit is literally broken you down and down and down to where it's like your ego cannot live here anymore. But especially with this Queen of Swords energy and this Six of Swords energy, like I said, you're a runner. You're somebody who, like, once a relationship start to get like serious and it's kind of like time to take things to the next step, to the next level, it's like you're one that's kind of like, let me see what the fuck is going on here before I proceed any further. Oh, somebody was calling my work phone. But it's like, let me see what the fuck is going on before I decide to move further. And because you do that, it's like you typically tend to shy away from intimacy with another person. But Spirit's also saying, like, it's time for you to allow love to come in. You know what I'm trying to say? And allow yourself to actually be close with another person, whether it be physically or even in the spiritual realm as well. Like, I know a lot of people that they haven't met, you know, the person that they want to be with for the rest of their life, but they still will put out positive intentions into the universe as far as, you know, I hope my future partner is doing well. Like, I hope my partner is, you know, handling things with ease, or things are seamless, or their financial situation is going well. So it's just like putting out positive intentions, like, out there into the world that are focused on, you know, this ethereal being that hasn't yet, you know, shown themselves in the matrix, in the physical world. But you're praying for this person. You're putting out good positive intentions for this person, because, you know, if you do that, you're going to benefit off of that too. You're going to benefit off of your work. This person going to come into your life and really change your life. Like, you're going to benefit off of that. So why not put positive intentions and prayers out into the universe? You know what I'm trying to say? Why not do that? But yeah, Spirit's just saying, like, it's time for you to really, you know, surrender your fear of intimacy, surrender to what is, to just go with the flow of things, which is the energy that you're currently in right now. So surrender to effortlessness. Like, you work hard enough. Like, we all out here in this rat race trying to make shit work, trying to build up, you know, funds and wealth and riches, you know what I'm trying to say, in the material world. Especially if you a divine feminine like me, just been really focused on spiritual development. It's like, at a certain point, I have all of this energy. Now it's time to really step out there into the world. You know what I'm trying to say? So I understand that you're clearly working hard, but just also make sure you take breaks as well. That's kind of what's coming up. All right, so let's look at, I guess, how much time do I have? I have like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and get into, I'm trying to figure out which deck I want to use. Which deck do I want to use? Alright, so basically I have these, I have my romance angel cards. I kind of want to mess with them, but I do want to mess with these, like, song oracle cards, just to see, like, you know, what type of energy you should be embodying moving forward into this week. I think that's something that would be applicable. You know, what type of energy should you provide? Should you embody? What should you embody moving forward? Like, y'all have, like, one of my favorite artists coming up, and I didn't really realize this was one of my favorite artists until I, like, actually sat back and was like, this is one of my favorite artists. Till I step back. So first and foremost, as far as the energy that you should embody moving forward into this week, you got Prince's energy. And Prince's energy is definitely it's like a rebellious energy. It's like an in your face energy, and it's also a real energy. And it's also like, I don't know, put yourself together. I feel like a lot of you all could have potentially been falling back on your self-care, which is why you're trying to embody self-love and nurture yourself again. But I feel like a lot of you all, as you're stepping into this, especially if you're a divine feminine, if you're in your Empress energy and you're trying to embody Knight of Wands energy, which is like moving forward with your ventures, moving forward with projects, like actually forward movement, then I think that Prince's energy would definitely help. And not to say that you should call upon Prince, because you don't want to do that. Like, don't call upon Prince. Just look at him and look at his personality and how out there he was, and just embody those things. But don't call upon Prince. Don't ever summon any type of spirits. Don't do that. Just don't do it. Like, don't do it. Like, unless you know what you're doing. But don't do it. So anyway, this energy just basically says do what you damn well like, but always do it to the utmost. So basically, do you and do that shit up to the fullest, and never lose touch with your colorful side. So basically, Prince is saying, like, get back to yourself. Like, you know, you've been going through a hard, tough time. It's time for you to get back on the horse. And that's literally been my message all week. It's like, all right, it's time for you to get back on the horse. Like, shit happened, hella shit happened. Now it's time to get shit moving again. It's not time to be stressed. And the thing about Prince too is, like, he always looked good. Like, so it's like, do that. Do what you want. Show up, show out, look good, and the story, period. Can't nobody say nothing about it. You also have the James Brown energy, which is very similar to Prince's energy, because James Brown was literally, like, they were literally the same way. Like, they were literally the same way. And the type of music that they came out with could have definitely been controversial to the time periods that they were that they were alive and that they were active within the entertainment industry. But they still did whatever the fuck they wanted to. I can say that. Like, so that's kind of what's coming across with James Brown. Like, now it's time for you to keep going. He says, don't quit moving until it's payback time. Like, you got to keep going. You really are all that you have. And I've been saying this all week as well. Like, you're all that you have. So, and this is your one body. This is your one conscious life that you're living in this lifetime. This is your one conscious lifetime. I mean, I be having flashbacks to, like, other lifetimes, but it's like, this is the one that you're consciously living. So make the most of it. And then last but not least, we have Edith Piaf. I'm not really familiar with her music, and nor have I ever really drawn this card at all. So I'm just going to look at it for a second. But yeah, basically she's saying, live with every fiber of your being. So take the good and the bad, take the pluses and the minuses. And that's kind of what was coming up with being real with yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Being real with yourself requires you to look at those positive qualities, and it requires you to look at some of those less than desirable qualities that we have and characteristics within ourselves. In order to get back on a horse, you have to be able to be completely upfront and vulnerable about, like, you know, who you are, what you're doing, where you're at. Nobody's saying, like, don't shit on anything if it's not working out the way it should be working out in your mind. We already know, like, things work out within their own divine timing. But yeah, be positive. Focus on the things that are going well for you so that you keep going. But at the same time, be able to look at your pluses and minuses from, you know, and kind of like from a, I don't know, have like an outer body experience, and just kind of like look at it from another perspective is kind of what I'm saying. Or if you need someone to help, then do that. But I don't know, some people just have the natural ability to just like disconnect and disassociate from their self and from their emotions to look at things logically and rationally. I used to think that everybody had the ability to do so, but that's not true. You know what I'm trying to say? Some people have a very hard time, you know, not being caught up in their emotions and of their perceptions of a situation to be able to look at things realistically. But that's really where grounding comes from. And it takes time, because it takes you having to be vulnerable with yourself. And you can't continue to walk around with these masks. You can't walk around with smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm trying to say? This kind of takes it back to this card. It's like you can't be inauthentic with yourself. And that's really all that, you know, Spirit is asking of you to do. Like, as you move forward, as you embody this Empress energy, move forward with the Knight of Wands, you have to steer clear of this Seven of Swords energy. And the Seven of Swords doesn't always have to be something that affects someone else, like someone stole something, you know what I'm trying to say, or someone's not being authentic with you. Like, I feel like this is also about you being authentic with yourself and dropping those masks as you move forward. Like, it's literally the only way. I feel like if you started to drop those masks and just, you know, continue to live in an energy of unconditional love as opposed to egotistical fear, it's like you'll kind of get over this running tendency that you tend to have, where it's like, oh, some shit ain't going right, now I'm gonna run. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's, I mean, shit, I be like that sometimes too, where it seems like I'm not really committed to things. It seems like I'm like running, especially when it has to do with relationships. But the ego is a real thing. And I mean, I'm not going to down talk it because it's there for a reason. You know what I'm trying to say? My ego is here for a reason. I'm completely fine with it. So just understand that you could be both. You can be both, but it seems like for this, what's going on, the majority of y'all just need to allow things to flow naturally. The majority of y'all need to understand things happen within, you know, divine timing, that there's a season for everything, and that if anything, all you have to remember is to put that pride aside. Like one of my favorite songs by Sade, and I'm always channeling her energy with the ponytail. I was like, you know what? I think I should be Sade for Halloween because it's not really going to take too much. I already got the all denim. I already got the slick back long ponytail. Like, what's next? What's next? Like, what else? Just playing. I don't have to be Sade for Halloween. Like, I could literally put on the all denim tomorrow and that shit'll be a fit. It'll be a whole look. Like, you feel me? All right, let me stop. But you know, I gotta big up myself sometimes. You know, big up myself. Just playing. I big up myself all the time. That's just a part of my self-love. That's a part of my self-love routine. Let's see where we're at on time. So we're at a little less than, I believe, 5 minutes now. So I am just going to, I don't know if I have any advice cards. I don't know if I have anything else to say, because I feel like this whole joint just been like, you know, seeing where you're at, getting you together as you move forward. You already know what energies to embody, not to summon, but to embody. And I don't know, maybe the romance angels have something to say. I don't know, like, I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe pull some cards for those that are dealing with someone. If you're dealing with someone, dating, situationship, friends with benefits, I don't know, whatever it is, we'll get some cards for you. See what the romance angels have to say. All right. Oh, okay. Well, Spirit just didn't want to focus on anybody else since we focused solely on you. This card says, love yourself first. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. If this is applicable to you, if it resonates, then it resonates. But yeah, love yourself first. And let's get a card for those single people. Single people, love yourself first also. Let's get a card for those single people as well. Oh, well, looks like you won't be single for too long. It basically says, make sure that you're having real conversations with people, that you're having heart-to-heart conversations with people, that you're honestly discussing your feelings. This was specifically for singles. So I'm not really going to try to fit it into the realm of you being in a relationship or situationship or whatever it is. But it says heart-to-heart conversation. So if anything, it's going to require you might have to, again, like I said, drop this Queen of Swords and this Six of Swords energy. You might have to continue to stay more so in your Queen of Cups energy. Definitely stay within your Queen of Cups energy as well, so that you are able to, express yourself effectively, express your emotions effectively, be able to transfer those emotions and, try to decipher them and process them, and so that you can, express them in a nice, clear, concise, and healthy way. I hope that message definitely was for someone. Didn't really seem like it was too general. That's why I didn't know if I wanted to pull these cards or not. Because I know, like, if I'm talking about just love readings, like specifically with another identified person, then it's like I'll use these cards. But I don't know. It's applicable too, though. You feel me? It is. But for the most part, that's all I had for y'all today. I did want to talk about, like I said, for the third time, another person, or how would you recognize your partner. But it seems like, you just kind of let things flow, let things go how they go. And next week, I definitely might come back and just have like just a lighter reading. But I really thought that this reading was cool. I really hope that this reading was beneficial to someone who needed to hear the messages that I was able to channel today. Please make sure that you hit me up on YouTube. Please make sure that you subscribe. Help me out. Your girl is trying to get out of her job. That's my goal for the rest of 2020, is to get out my job. Like, if that's your goal, let me know. I'll support you as well. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.